I often get asked why I do both Krav Maga and MMA. And the reason is they serve two very different purposes. MMA is a sport where you choose to fight, and especially when you fight professionally, you get paid to fight, and you sign a contract to do so. You know when you're fighting, what time you're fighting, and where you're fighting, and the fight starts when the referee says fight. Whereas in self-defense, when it comes to Krav Maga, the fight is usually what you least expect. Things escalate very quickly. You don't have time to warm up both your body and your mind, right? When you walk to that cage, that cage locks behind you, you've done that walk many, many times through visualization. But when it comes to a self-defense situation, you're not expecting it to happen. So it's very, very hard to prepare for it. Another main difference is that in mixed martial arts, you have 27 rules that you have to follow. And one of those rules is you cannot kick or knee to the face of a grounded opponent. A grounded opponent in mixed martial arts is someone who has a hand or a foot, anything but your feet or the soles of your feet touching the ground. So hands or knees on the ground, obviously if they're on the stomach, on the back. You cannot, in the unified rules, kick or knee to the head. Recently we saw the first ever world title in the UFC won by disqualification. Has never happened before. And it was when Yan, in the title, the 135 title, illegally kneed his opponent Sterling when he was a downed opponent. So his knee was touching the ground. I believe one of his hands was touching the ground as well. And it was intentional in the sense that he threw it on purpose. And yet Yan, in the heat of the moment, he didn't mean to do something illegal. He said it afterwards, and I believe him. I also don't believe that Sterling was in any shape able to continue fighting after that. But here's the main difference to understand. When it comes to mixed martial arts, there's 27 rules to follow. And the reason why you have those rules is because even though it's a brutal sport, in the end of the day, the purpose of the rules is to make sure that there's no long-lasting, permanent damage caused to any of the fighters, or minimize those chances at least. In a street situation, you should do whatever you can in order to be able to go home safe. So kneeing a downed opponent, if that's what it takes for you to go home safe, do it. Eye poking, if that's what it takes for you to go home safe, use it. Kicking to the groin. Eye pokes and kicks to the groin are the two most common reasons that an MMA fighter will call for a timeout. Use it in a self-defense situation. Headbutts, biting, single joint manipulation, elbows from ceiling to floor, from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. All are things that are illegal in mixed martial arts. But if you're fighting for your life, you do what you have to do. And those 27 rules that are implemented in mixed martial arts to save or to minimize permanent damage to a fighter are some of the things that you should look for in a street self-defense situation. That's the main difference between mixed martial arts and Krav Maga.